everyone. So delighted to have you. Glad that you found us and can carve out some time to listen to our story for the new guest in the new series, new episode today. Before I introduce the guest, I'd like to tell just a little bit about the Need Indeed. Need Indeed is a local nonprofit 501c3 organization with the mission to be serving in the areas of mental well being. We do projects with assisted living, senior citizens, also with educational institutions, women's support group, and so on and so forth. You can check out our website to know more, theneedindeed.org. And now a little bit about the series of conversation we're going to do under Voices and Vibes. So if you've seen our previous story, I mentioned there as well that the main reason to do these stories is that we have everyday heroes around us all the time, and each one of us has multitude of stories that teach us something and can be inspiring. So bringing one such guest each time to you to share their inspiration, their motivation, and their life changing events in the hopes that can better our mental well being. So, bringing to you Voices and Vibes, creating consciously. And now I introduce to you the guest for this conversation, Sujata Bika. Welcome.
Thank you.
We've color matched, so one part done. I know Sujata Bika. Actually, it's a little odd for me to call her Sujata Bika, but on camera, that's what I will call her. Off camera, I have known her for 30 years, and I call her not Sujata. I call her with an Indian how should I say, suffix that's added to a certain relation type. So I call her with that name. And so here we are today in a formal relationship, sharing the story. So once again, welcome and delighted to have you.
Yeah, I'm glad I could be here to share my story with everyone.
Wonderful. Um, so I've already given the little introduction that I know her off camera. I invite you to do a short introduction as you would like to do, and then we'll open our conversation.
Okay, well, as you all know now, I am Sujata Bika, and I moved here about 30 years ago after I got married. And before that, was a biology student. I was still in school when I got married, so I waited about a year before coming here. Wanted to be a doctor, but life had other plans for me.
Yeah,
Things do change once we get married.
yeah,
So, and then coming to a different country, different people, I didn't know anyone before.
yeah,
So it was quite an experience.
of course. Well, that introduction has a lot of nuggets for me, so I'm going to pick on them one by one. Yes, marriage or wedding, getting married is a life changing event. For me, also, it was. And then we have one thing in common that I didn't know that you were a biology student. I also was I have my undergrad in biochemistry from University of Minnesota. So
Oh,
one thing
nice.
common.
Well,
Um, and then you mentioned, yeah, that you moved here 30 years ago. So that's a life changing in itself. Any specific memory or anything you would like to call out about the wedding and then wedding moving here as your main events in life?
I don't really remember much about the wedding part because things just happened so quick and so fast.
Yeah,
I was still in school. I was not really thinking about things.
yeah.
Everything happened in 10, 15 days and it
Wow.
was done.
Yeah,
But then my husband and his family came back here.
yeah,
And once I was done with school, which was about 6 months after that, got married in December.
yeah,
And by June, when I was done with my college,
yeah,
is when things happen and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go. Things
yeah,
will be different.
yeah.
The funniest thing is I had zero clue about where my family lived before I got married. So I had no idea if Minnesota ever existed.
Yeah.
So
You're not alone. People who live in
so
United States sometimes don't know where it is. So yeah,
yeah.
there's
So and even a few years after that, whenever people ask me, I'm like Chicago. I'm close to Chicago. That's
Yeah.
how would I introduce Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are different now. Everyone knows
Everyone
everything. So,
knows. Yeah, it's
but
funny.
yeah,
I've
so,
used that line also, but at that time, Chicago was 8 hours of a drive. So it's funny how we used to say it's close, but I have done that many times myself.
so I think that was the
That's the
biggest
only
city
known
that
big
people
city.
understand.
Exactly, exactly. All right, so I know a little bit about where you came from, so I'm going to add that to your introduction that in India, you are from the state of Rajasthan,
Yes.
which is, people who know geography know that it is a desert state. It's state of heat. And then you arrive in Minnesota, which is white, not brown, which is not heat, which is cold. So that's quite a contrast.
Yes, it was. It was really hard because I moved here in December.
Wow.
And so totally from a sand place to a white sand place, I could call it. It was just no sand. It was just white everywhere. I remember like falling 3 or 4 times that winter because I just had no idea how to walk in snow and icy
Yeah.
patches. Of course, you learn fast after hitting your head once, but
Yes.
yeah, so it was really cold, really hard. Looking at things, I'm like looking at trees, I'm like, everything is dead here. How do
Yeah.
people live here?
Yeah.
Why do you guys live here?
Yeah.
But yeah, as spring arrived, everything changed, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yes.
So very different.
And now you have been living here for 30 years, you said.
Yes, yes, I do love it here.
Yeah. Nice. Me too. I've been here for a long time. And yeah, the winter conversation is different from spring, and we are still here.
Yes.
So, moving forward with your life, you had a changing event with wedding, like we do, and then you moved to a different culture. And then you said you wanted to be a doctor because you were a biology major. So, did you ever think of pursuing that here? How was that?
So since I came here in December, it was in the middle of things, so
Yeah.
I just started taking some classes just because I had no clue about computers before
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
here. There was a fairly new thing in our college, at least, where I came from. So I'm like, okay, for the time being, I'll just start taking some classes. I did 2 semesters,
Mm.
but then life had other plans for me. I got pregnant.
Ah.
So then I had to quit because I just wasn't feeling very well the first 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So things
That's
changed.
understandable.
Yep.
Yeah.
So things were on hold. Yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
get to that doctor part, but doing some other things.
Yeah. And so, of course, you were pregnant, and then you tell us about your pregnancy and how was that, and of course, the delivery and so on.
So pregnancy wise, I don't know. I didn't really know much.
Because it was the first pregnancy.
It was first
You
pregnancy.
didn't know what to expect.
And I was fairly young. I was only 22 when I
okay.
was pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And then didn't really have anyone else around
Yeah.
in terms of in my home, right?
Yeah.
Coming from India, it's a different thing. We had 20 people living in the same house.
Right.
Here, yes, we had family, but it was still a phone call away. And
Right.
it's something it's hard to talk about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But things were going okay. Like I had my doctor visits and things like that.
Yeah.
And then around my around my 9th month is when I found out
Okay.
that I have my kid's gonna be Spina Bifida. So,
Okay.
and then I'm like, what is Spina Bifida?
Yeah. What
No
is spina
idea.
bifida?
So Spina Bifida is a neural birth defect where
Okay.
your spinal cord does not form fully.
Okay.
And it could be different forms. With some people, it could like the symptoms could be just looking at perspective. You could just have a small birthmark kind of thing on your back
Mm-hmm.
to a big opening in the back where spinal cord is totally open and a bunch of nerves are coming out of your body
Mm-hmm.
in a cyst or something.
Okay.
So, and then depending on where your opening is,
Yeah.
the functionality of your body totally changes because it's the nerves that controls everything in our body.
Right.
And if those nerves are not in their place where they should be,
Yeah.
all those functioning is gonna
Be
change.
altered.
Yes.
So you said you found out this late in the pregnancy.
I did. Yes.
You obviously didn't know at that time what it was. So how did you get educated? What did you do? I'm sure you tried to find out what is it that you can do as a parent even at that time. Do you remember a little bit what was going through your head at that time?
Yeah, so my number one thing was asking the doctors. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, what is this?
yeah,
And I got a piece of paper or two just like this,
yeah,
all the information there is. So that's all there was. There was no web per se, right? So
yeah,
you just
true.
couldn't sit and Google every single thing then.
Yeah,
So all I had to learn was just through those two sheets of paper what spina bifida is.
yeah,
And then the team of doctors was good. Then
yeah.
anything related to spina bifida, there are a lot of other issues that do happen along with it.
Okay,
So then there was a team of 4 or 5 doctors,
okay.
and we just had to go see each and everyone, talk about what could be the possibility.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a neurologist who's
Mm.
going to operate on the person being born with spina bifida.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a urologist because there's always issues with your bladder and bowel when you are spina bifida.
Okay,
And then they were suspecting a few other things, so we had to see cardiologists and a few other doctors too, just to be prepared
yeah,
for the process if
yeah,
anything needed to be done right at the birth.
yeah. So basically, you got educated or as best as you could, um, right in the moment, and you were also getting ready for the delivery.
Yes, everything in the 3 weeks period is when we found out,
Yeah,
and everything was happening. Yes.
and was happening. And so, um, because it was happening so fast, probably you didn't get time to process it at that in that moment because so
No.
much is happening.
Yes.
You don't know what this is, what you can do, what should you do, right? And the baby has to be born.
Baby has to be born. Only one thing I remember is once things normalized a little bit after seeing everyone, I kept asking every single doctor, did I do something wrong for this to happen?
Yeah,
And they're like, no, it just happens.
yeah,
It could be something to do with genetics, but nobody really knows.
okay,
So in some cases, the chances are higher if you've had somebody in your family or who knows, but that's the hardest thing. Nobody really knows because
yeah,
back in the days, if anyone was born with spina bifida, chances are they won't make past 3-4 weeks.
I see.
Worst case situation, and then
Yeah,
depending on the type of spina bifida you have.
yeah,
So that was the hardest thing. And back in India, people had 8-10 kids, of which only 5 to 7 survived anyway.
true.
So
Yeah,
it was really hard to get to that.
yeah. Even here, so many years ago, there were large families, and yeah, that
So
applies. So, moving on, the baby is born, a boy.
yes,
So the baby boy is born, and because you mentioned that there was urologist on the team, a cardiologist on the team. So, tell us what happened at birth. Like, were there surgeries or treatments that can be done or were needing to be done?
yes. So for sure, because in case of my son,
Yeah,
they could see that surgery would be needed right at birth.
yeah.
So yes, so right as he was born, he was taken to a different hospital,
Okay,
to the children's specialty area.
right.
And then that's where the surgeons and everybody was, the neurologist was ready. That was his first surgery
Okay,
to for the closure of his opening
Okay.
on the spine. So
Okay.
pushing all the nerves back in
yeah,
and then just closing that area. That was his number one thing.
okay,
Then the number two thing is what he has is called hydrocephalus.
okay,
And what that is like everyone's, all the organs, we have fluids around it.
right.
Same with brain. So, but in people with hydrocephalus, the fluid around just keeps collecting. There's no way for it to drain out.
I see.
So what they do is they just put a shunt, which is like a tube,
Yeah.
which goes from your head
Yeah,
to some part in your body. In his case, it's in his abdominal cavity.
Mm.
So that tube
Mm-hmm.
just keeps draining that fluid out as it builds up.
Okay,
So that just keeps things in balance, because if that fluid keeps building in there,
Yeah.
your head will explode one day.
Right. And
There's
so
nothing
this
else to
procedure is done
right
for
at birth.
lifetime, right at birth,
It was, yes.
for drainage right
Yeah.
throughout the life.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is there. Yep. And we've been lucky because, again, with the shunts, some bodies accept it
Yeah.
and it'll go forever, it'll go for a long time.
Yeah.
With some people, you just have to keep changing it every few years. They do put enough, big enough shunt that it can, if it works, it'll last. So for us, it has lasted now for almost 25 years. We did have to do a couple revisions in the beginning,
Okay.
first 2 years of his life, but
Okay.
after that, it's been working.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
That's a relief.
Yes, yes, yes. You mentioned a couple times in the beginning and also at the time of the surgery that each person can have different variations.
Yes.
So just saying spina bifida doesn't mean one size fits all. There's
No, yes, very, very, very different.
very
Yes.
different. And so to know which one it is for your child, you had to self-educate, because you mentioned that you were only given 2 sheets of paper and we
Yes.
were not in the Google era at that time.
Yes.
I take it that you, or I shouldn't assume, I should ask, did you ask around to get some education? How did you go about getting education?
The only one thing I remember doing was, and I don't think it occurred to me or my husband, but one of the uncles in the family, he's like, just record everything the doctor is saying.
That's a good suggestion.
So we just recorded every conversation with these specialists before his birth. So
Yeah.
just to go back
Yeah,
to if there was something that they mentioned and we missed in that time period.
yeah,
So that was our only Google or internet or whatever you want to call it.
yeah, yeah,
So,
source of information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to, I mean, you and I can, because we are that old where we have seen a pre-Google era, but maybe for some of the listeners, it might be hard to imagine how we got education without Google
I
or
know, yeah,
Wikipedia or any
yes,
of that.
yeah.
So you bring the baby home. Families also wondering and getting educated and situated besides you and your husband.
Sure.
And you are inundated with all these surgeries. Was it like the first X number of months or first year? How long was it?
So the first year of his life,
First year, okay.
yeah, I would say most of the surgeries, these 2 big surgeries were done right at birth.
Okay,
And then he had to stay at the hospital for 15 days.
okay,
And I could come home in 3 days.
okay.
But again, for those 15 days, they won't let me in, of course, because he was in NICU.
Okay,
But I would just sit in waiting room because I just didn't want to be home. So I would
Yeah.
go to the hospital, stay there all day as long as I could, and then come home at night. That's
Yeah.
all I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, once home, again, I think when there are babies around you, you don't know anything. First baby,
Yeah.
nobody knows anything. So
Yes.
it's not like anything different or not.
Yeah,
Hardest part was, again, with the surgeries and whatnot, with the opening in the back, right?
Yeah, you
Just
have
had
to
to
be
be
careful.
just a tad bit more careful.
yeah,
Thank God my mom was here to
Nice.
help with that, so I didn't have to worry much.
yeah,
But then as he got a little older,
Yeah.
there were a few complications every now and then, which really there were no answers to.
Yeah.
But he would just get high fevers. We would end up in the hospital, stay there for 3-4 days,
yeah,
and then we're back home.
yeah.
So, first year was the hardest.
Was the hardest.
Yes, because again, it was every 2 months you're there and
Yeah.
you just don't know what to do. And nobody really knew. It was
I
just
see.
high fevers.
Okay.
Interesting enough, we figured it out on our own. What was happening
What
is,
was happening?
so people with spina bifida, they
Yeah.
always, pretty much most of them,
Yeah.
will have urological, so
Oh.
bladder and bowel issues.
I
So
see.
he was not emptying himself out fully.
I see.
So there was fecal impaction.
Yeah.
Things were in there,
Yeah.
which anyone would get sick if
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah.
enough things are in you that are that need to get out.
Right.
So of course, when you're in the hospital, when they don't know anything, they're prescribing you medications, giving you antibiotics. What
Right.
antibiotics do makes
Yeah.
you go.
Right.
And
When you come home, it's different.
right, but the thing is, so once everything's out, right?
Yeah.
Because he would get diarrhea after those medications. So when everything is good,
Yeah.
he'll be good.
Yeah.
But then again, in a few weeks or months,
Right.
things will
Back to
get
what?
back to that. And so it's very interesting. That's one thing I would tell all the parents.
Yeah,
Don't just accept what the doctors say,
sure.
right? Because your kid is your kid and you know better than anyone
Yeah,
else. So if you think something's not right
yeah,
and what's making it better or worse,
yeah,
you can always talk to doctors. If one doesn't answer, go talk to the other one or the third one. In our
yeah,
case, we were lucky enough when we brought that up.
yeah.
A doctor's like, yeah, oh, we totally forgot to mention that part. That's a very common thing
Oh,
with most people with spina bifida.
yeah.
So,
So it pays to be attentive, like you said, it's your kid and so yeah, paying attention to all these details provides data for doctors.
yes.
And you mentioned that they didn't know much. I take it that 30 years back, this awareness, even in the medical facility, institutions about all these illnesses was, I'm guessing, lesser than what it is now because there's just so many more means to know and learn 30 years later. So perhaps in their community also, that learning and awareness wasn't there. But I'm going to bring us back to the home where now you are with the few month and then a year old baby that you have brought home.
Mm-hmm.
um, like you mentioned that it's a lot of learning with the baby, and in this case you had to be extra careful to make sure that the sensitive areas are taken care of. But I'm sure some other things were also going in the head. One, you mentioned already that you talked to the doctor and you said that did I do something, why this happened? And they said no, it can happen to anyone and that it could be genetic. Was that the end of that conversation in your head, or was there a lingering conversation in your head to keep asking that why has this happened or what has happened? Was that there?
I think it took me about a year or two
Yeah,
to accept
yeah,
that this is something that has happened to me,
yeah,
happened to us,
yeah,
and there's not much we can do about it
yeah,
other than just be there for our kid
yeah,
and move on.
yeah,
So, and I think once we got to that point, I remember actually sitting with my husband and talking about it.
yeah,
And because every now and then I would sit in a corner and cry and
yeah,
then come back, do whatever needs to be done.
yeah,
And then he's like, why do you cry all the time?
yeah,
I'm like, because I just feel like it. I don't know what to do.
yeah,
And he's like, do you think that's going to change anything?
yeah,
Like, no, not really. But again, still, I feel like doing it. So we just sat and talked a lot about future, how things are going to be for him, for us, and everything.
yeah,
And I think, yeah, once we got in peace with that part,
yeah,
things have gotten much easier. It's not like there's lesser work.
yeah,
Things are very demanding,
yeah,
and they were at times. Things are much easier now for sure.
yeah.
I think I just got used to it, could be that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that satisfaction in mind, and there's not that constant questioning myself
Yeah.
that, yes, I did something.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
just
key.
there, so.
That's a key point that you mentioned. That once you accepted, life started looking different, even though it was the same life, but it's now
Oh,
you
yeah.
had a new lens.
Yes, I guess so.
And I think that's not just for this situation, this one situation that we're talking about. I mean, that is applicable for anybody, for any situation. That the key is to be able to accept. And I can pretty much say that that just one important change of attitude probably made you feel from a switch from a victim mode to a warrior mode. Like, I got this. I have it. I can handle it.
Yeah, you really put it really well. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, something must have happened because things did change. Yes, it
Yeah.
just made things easier. Yes.
Yeah. So, moving on from that, because I know your son a little bit and your husband also a little bit, um, tell us how he is, his personality. Is he a shy kid, or social, or how
No.
has life been with him?
Oh no. So since day well, yeah, not day one, but
Yeah.
my son's been a very social person,
Yeah.
and he still is.
Yeah.
He just can't stay quiet, can't stay put. He has to see people every day. He has to
Yeah.
talk to who knows multiple people every day, which was a little bit harder thing when he
Hmm.
was younger,
Mm-hmm.
because he would try and approach other children,
Mm-hmm.
but then little kids, they don't know any better,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know how to include him in whatever they're doing and playing with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they see somebody coming in a wheelchair next to him,
Mm.
and they're like, okay, either curious about the chair, trying to play with the chair, or push or pull,
Mm-hmm.
which is again a safety thing at that age, because he's still, if he's
Learning
four,
himself.
he's learning himself. He was
Yeah.
4 years old by then, and things were hard. So at that time, what we realized is, even though he's very social,
Mm.
but his friends were either people who were way older than him
Mm.
or kids who are really younger,
Ah.
because they don't pose any danger, right? Adults would understand. They'll be there around him to protect him and talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And little kids, you can just still sit and talk, but they won't
Yeah.
come and bug you
Yeah.
as per. But then as he got older, he got used to things, and then lots of friends
Yeah.
wanted to do every single thing possible in the world that everyone in school is doing,
Yeah.
and which at times was harder,
Yeah.
because not everything was accessible back then.
Okay.
So, like playgrounds.
Oh.
I think when he got to middle school, by that time we've seen enough changes that a lot of playgrounds were made that were wheelchair accessible.
Okay.
You could go in there and use them
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay.
But again, to make things easier for him, we were there. We knew he wanted to do, and he's very vocal. He'll let you know what he wants to do.
That's a good thing.
So, yeah, so he's like, I want to go there. Okay, we'll carry you, we'll take you there.
Yeah.
And he never felt odd about that, which is a good thing. And
That's a good
to
thing,
the day, he knows if he needs help, if you're doing something, it may look weird to other people, but it's our normal.
Yeah.
So it's totally fine. So I would carry him around anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is, even like field trips, school field trips, right? There were lots of places, theaters and stuff. And where else? I remember farms and whatnot. There's nothing else because it's a dirt farm, right? You can't do anything with the chair.
Yeah.
There were days when I would use strollers,
Okay.
even though he was much older.
Yeah.
And wherever not that, again, we'll just carry him,
Yeah.
take him. If I get tired, I'll sit, I'll let the group know, the teacher know, okay, we'll be sitting here, you go do your thing, come meet us in half hour, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, things worked out. We just came up with our own system
Right.
to get things done.
Right. Right. So
that's
his
awesome.
vocalness combined with you guys' parental commitment made it happen for him.
So
And any memory that you have that you'd like to share from the school time or the field trip? You mentioned about the field trip. Any specific field trip, good or not so pleasant, that comes to mind, or any school day activity that was challenging but then was overcome that you'd like to share?
So there were multiple challenges.
Yeah.
Again, with a lot of these health issues, sometimes come developmental issues too.
Oh.
And the thing is, when you're a very vocal, verbal person who
Yeah.
can totally talk and explain everything,
Yeah.
you just don't see what goes behind that. And there are some disabilities that come part with that, and those are nonverbal disability things. That's what they're called. And a lot of spina bifida people have NLDs. That's what
Okay.
they call it. So with that comes a different temperament. You'll behave as you're understanding every single thing that's being taught to you or being told. And that's how my son is too. But he's not processing every single part of it,
Sure, sure.
right? So then the teachers are like, okay, we told him everything.
I
He
see.
got it. And then he's like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
What was that? So again, after a lot of intervention, schools had good program, I would say. So
Good.
once things were figured out,
Yeah.
they were willing to help
Okay.
every single step. So even with testing and things like that, he would do things separate from rest of the class
Yeah.
when special attentions were needed,
Yeah.
and things worked out.
That's nice. That's nice. So it wasn't just that at home you guys were providing this special attention. The school did a big part in his upbringing, if I may
Yes.
say so, and
Hmm.
getting him to be where he is. Shifting a little bit focus from him to you have another child.
Yes, I have one more son. So he is almost 4 years younger than my older one.
Okay, so you got pregnant the second time, and of course, it had to be. It would have had to cross your mind that do I need to be concerned? So please tell us about that pregnancy and your decision to have a
Yeah,
second child.
yeah, I've always wanted a lot of kids,
Yes.
but I did get really scared after the first one.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it's good to have a sibling.
Yeah.
So gave it a go.
Yeah.
But I was worried and scared the whole time.
Yeah.
And again, went for multiple doctor appointments just to make sure that things were going well.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was ready to abort if ever needed, just because I didn't want one more kid to go through what
Yeah.
my son had to go through.
Yeah.
Not because I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Like if things, again, with things you just don't know, right? Things could change even after a person's
Right.
born too. So that's different. But yeah, we lucked out. Things were good.
Yeah.
It was in much comfortable. Well, it wasn't the best pregnancy ever or the
Each
birth.
pregnancy is unique.
Yes, but yeah, the outcome was different.
Yeah.
So
And a boy also.
and a boy, yes, but yeah. So much more easier once he was born. I was home in a day and a half, and after that, didn't really have to worry about other than just the weekly and monthly appointments.
Yeah.
So, but
And now those two are best buddies.
yes, they are. Yes, and again, right? Yeah, with my younger one being around, yeah, he's my biggest help as well.
Yeah.
So whenever I need a break,
Yeah.
he's my go-to person. I'm like, okay, come take care of your brother. I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go see my mom. And
Yeah.
it works out.
Very nice.
Yeah, he does everything then.
And it's relieving to know that there's someone trustworthy to be around.
Yes.
But it's not all that that your older son needs help all the time, because we should share with our listeners that he is very independent also.
Yes, he is very independent.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not just everyone needs help with one thing or
Right.
the other, with him a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, but other than that, he can do. And things that he can do, he can really do well.
Yeah.
He can drive himself everywhere.
Yes.
He likes to work. He explored a few work areas.
Yes.
And then he is now working independently. He owns a business. So he is a yeah,
and he's a car dealer.
he is. He's always been a car guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
he has been. I remember when he was little, he kind of knew the specs of the cars
I know.
from the
Yeah.
memorized.
That's something I know. He would dream cars, talk cars. In his sleep, he would just listen to the sound and he's like, okay, that's that make and model coming. That's that make and model coming. I'm like, no, I have to read what car it is. I don't know. So, yeah, I think that was his thing.
That's very cool.
And
That's
he's-
very cool.
yeah, he's finally
And you
doing it.
mentioned that he tried a few work opportunities. Some didn't pan out, probably because maybe his heart wasn't there, and some because of the extra need.
Yes, he did explore a few places, but then of course he liked the places related to cars more
Yeah.
than the others.
Yeah.
But again, what he wants to do, depending on that, it's not the easiest thing. He wants to buy and sell cars. He doesn't want to sit and engineer and work on paper related to cars. He
Yeah.
just can't get in every single car himself.
Right.
And even if he gets in there, he can't drive every car without putting his special hand controls in each one of them,
Yeah.
which we have done for him at home.
Yeah.
Like 3 of our cars we've modified just for him,
Yeah.
in case, because he likes driving different cars.
Yeah.
So he can do that. But then with that was getting difficult. So it was hard for places to accommodate to his special needs.
Yeah.
They would try their best.
Yeah.
But yeah, but when times get hard and things change, it's not going to work out
Yeah.
your way. It's all good.
It's all good because it brought him to this opportunity where he can, be completely self-independent and
Yeah,
try some his
exactly.
business,
Yeah, well,
come up
yeah,
with his
yeah.
business.
So he's just started it. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, wishing
He's
him all the
happy.
best for that.
Thank you.
um, any last parting message that you'd like to share? Of course, one key takeaway for me is what you shared, how once the acceptance happened, life turned around. Any key moment that you noticed as a parent in your son's life that made it easier for him, or it, for him it was never a challenge because this is his reality, and so he never knew one versus the other. Is that fair to say?
No, things were hard at times.
Okay.
So even though, yeah, that's his reality, I think now he knows it more than when he was younger. Because when you're growing up, it is hard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
First thing was when you see people walking. The kids are walking and running, and you can't catch up, right? Keep up with them.
Yeah.
It took a while for him to accept that part.
Yeah.
Once he get past that there were other things. Again, growing up, teenage years, things were a little different. But now he gets things. He's 27.
Wow.
And he gets it all.
Yeah.
Of course, every now and then everyone's going to break down. We do too.
You do, me do, I do. Yeah.
So, but yeah, things have been different. And he knows. He knows that things are different. And at times he tries to make people understand.
Yeah.
And he can read people. Because I think living with a different life, you just know. So he can tell. He's like, I'll talk to people if I think they really want to know about me and want to understand how to help me.
Yeah.
Most people just want to come and pity me, then I don't care.
That's fair.
And he just walks away.
That's fair. So yeah, I would be like that too.
So he doesn't care about that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. To the viewers, to the audience, I would like to say, again, not to worry about things.
Yeah.
Things will happen. Yes, things are very different.
Yeah.
But again, you can overcome anything if you just put your heart to it. And the best thing is when you're working for your own kid, you're taking care of your child. It's your child. Doesn't matter special need or no need.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's how we look at it. It's like we'll be there for him as long as we can be and do whatever we need to do.
Yeah.
And
that's the parent.
So, yeah.
That's a parent. That's
exactly.
a loving parent.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Yeah. The world or the outsider may put a label that he has this need or she has this need or no need, whatever. But to a parent, it's their kid, and every day or every moment of the day they're not thinking about that special need. For them, they'll do what they would do for whatever the kid needs. So I can relate to that part. But yeah, it's easier said than done. Don't worry. But I think that's a good ending note. To not worry and keep going with life.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing. I have to say it on record that, like I said in the beginning, that I've known you for a long time, and I've always admired this quality of yours, that having special needs in life is not easy. And sometimes it's, the family isn't educated because it hasn't happened before. And 30 years ago, the people around us also didn't know. So to kind of figure it out on your own, keep the smile, do what's needed, I've always admired that about you.
Thank you so much. And I couldn't have done it without the help of my family and friends everywhere, because they're there whenever I need anyone. So that does help. So that's one thing I would say, yes. I know it's hard to approach people, hard to reach out and talk to your needs, but it doesn't have to be about your kid. It could be about anything.
It could be about anything.
Right. Sometimes I just need a break and I'm like, I need to go for a walk. Who's willing to join me? And that could be the best break ever too.
Yes.
Yeah. So it does help out.
One question I just remembered before I close that is, because you mentioned walk, is that your sacred go-to to keep your mind relieved and relaxed, or is there something you do periodically to keep your mental well-being?
fresh air. Yeah,
Fresh
it
air.
doesn't matter. Yeah, if I could walk, that would be awesome. But
Yeah.
even if I can't, I'll just go out, sit. If it's cold outside, I'll just go sit outside for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
If I don't have much time, but yeah, I do enjoy my gardening
Yeah.
and walking. That's my summer to goes. So
Wonderful.
and that does help me out. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. So yeah, I guess the key takeaways for me: accept, don't worry, and get fresh air. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.